Everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome to our weekly wellness class. Ooh, I've got some pretty bright lights here. Well, let me fix this here. Let's see if that's a little better. Wow, I apologize. We are in the winter months. Hello, Tay. Hello, Tia. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you on here today. I am struggling to get my Zoom to connect with Facebook tonight. I'm not sure why. I already did it once a day, so I know it can happen. So, but I have had to erase my history a number of times, and sometimes that causes issues. So apparently I don't have it figured out yet. So, but anyway, text one of your friends or family members, have them jump on with us. And if you want to join us on Zoom, so you actually can see the PowerPoint that I'm going to share that I can't share on my phone. If you want to join us on Zoom, my Zoom meeting ID is up above on Facebook. Okay, so it's 537-121-4412. 537-121-4412. So jump on Zoom to see our PowerPoint presentation. But we're going to talk tonight about natural solutions for rest and managing stress. Welcome, welcome, Thomas. Get your wife Dixie on here. Would love to have you on here with her. But that's going to be a really great class tonight, and that is our focus for doTERRA for the last quarter of the year. And so I'm going to bring up my PowerPoint here, and we're going to share it on Zoom. You won't see it on Facebook. I apologize, just because I'm not connecting well tonight with Zoom and my Facebook page. So you got me on my phone, on Facebook, and on my Zoom link on PowerPoint. Okay, so jump on there. Again, zoom.us for the free download of the app on your computer, your tablet or iPad, your smartphone, and you can join us either way on any of those. And again, my meeting ID number is listed there at the top of this Facebook live, 537-121-4412. So at any rate, let's talk for a minute, and let's do just a really brief overview. Welcome, Soen. Welcome, welcome. Let's do just a little brief overview of what essential oils are. I want to tell you some really cool things about essential oils, and I want you to know how to use them briefly, and then we're going to talk specifically, hone in on essential oils for rest and managing stress. And if you don't have stress, you can go ahead and jump off right now, okay? You probably don't need this class, so go ahead and just jump off if you don't have any stress. If you have stress, stick around, because I know I do, and I venture to say that everyone does, all right? So nature was man's first remedy, and everything we need can be found there. I have always trusted that nature is man's first remedy, and everything we find there, everything we need we can find there, okay? So that's a really helpful thing. So go ahead and mute yourself if you're on Zoom. I can't hear you on Facebook, but I would love for you to document some questions if you have any, all right? So do you need safe, effective, and affordable healthcare solutions? To document some questions. So let's see, what do we got going on here? Soen, would you mute yourself there? Perfect, you got it, okay? And so those are the three cool things that I want to talk about with essential oils, okay? They're safe, they are effective, and they are most definitely cheaper and affordable solutions. Okay, when we talk about that, the absence of being able to reach for what you need at your fingertips means you're hauling off to the doctor, hauling off to the ER, hauling off to Instacare, and I want you to just check yourself and say, what are you going to spend in gas and time? What is your copay? And if the doctor or a care provider should prescribe anything, what are you going to spend to go fill that? And when you take a look at all of that overall, essential oils are pennies by the drop, and they work so much faster. So they really are effective. So those are the three things. So what are the three things? Safe, effective, and affordable, all right? Safe, effective, and affordable. Those are the coolest things about essential oils, okay? So we can take a look at, like I said, at the modern approach, and when we look at the natural approach, really looking at helping the body do its job better of healing, all right? And so the body has everything it needs when you give it natural solutions and nourish it well, and then it can actually do its healing job better. So tonight we're going to talk about what essential oils are, how we use them, and how you can get them in your home briefly. And then, of course, we're going to talk about that rest and managing stress. All right, so what are essential oils? like I said, essential oils are effective. They are safe. Welcome, welcome, so on. And they are certainly affordable. Essential oils are the natural aromatic compounds of plants. They are extracted from all parts of the plant material, from the stem, the leaves, the roots, the bark, the fruit, the seed, from all parts of the plant, and they are steam distilled, except for the citrus oils. The citrus oils are extracted by cold pressing the peelings, and that's a really important factor in getting some really quality oils. All right, so when we distill the plant material, of course, essential oils they float to the top. They're lighter than the water, and they float to the top, and then we skim them off the top. Okay, now if you take a look at my fist, that would be like a cell. Okay, so if we take a look at a cell in our bodies, we have intruders that are outside the cells making us sick, bacteria. We have intruders that are inside the cells making us sick, viruses. And so the essential oils can actually readily cross that oily membrane on the cell, and other medicinals and over-the-counter cannot. And so that's a really big deal, all right, to helping our body cells. So if you go to the doctor and you've got a bacterial infection, he prescribes something for you that can get to the stuff on the outside of the cell, but it's not going to cross cell membrane and get to what's on the inside of the cell, okay? So just know, now, if you go to the doctor and he prescribes something and it does not help you, what do you do? Okay, you don't just say, I guess I'm not going to get well anytime soon, right? No, you go back to the doctor and you say, this is not working. I need something else. All right. Same thing is true with essential oils. If you try essential oils and they are not giving you the results you want, then you go back to the drawing board and you choose another one or add to what you're using, because we're all a little bit different chemically speaking, and what works for me may not be the exact thing that works for you, and vice versa. And so if it's not working for you, go back and find another or add to it. Now that's a really critical piece when we take a look at essential oil sampling, because really, truly, we want to sample people and give them a positive product experience with something that works. So if you have not yet had a positive product experience with doTERRA essential oils, I want you to type down here to these comments, post below these comments. I will make darn sure that you get a sample that works for you, and I'll keep sampling you until you get a positive product experience. All right, that's a really important key when we're talking about really moving people forward to a natural or a wellness lifestyle using natural solutions. All right. And so now let's say you go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, it's a viral infection. There's nothing I can do. Go home, rest, let it run its course, and there's nothing I can do. Okay. How many times have you had that said to you when you've gone in for care to your care provider? And the reality is they can't do anything for you because the viruses are on the inside of the cell and the medications don't get to them. All right. But essential oils do. Essential oils readily cross that cell membrane to get both around the cell on the outside as well as inside the cell to get at the intruder. All right. And so that's a really good news. So they are most definitely effective. Okay. Now, my sons just came home from a work project, and he had lifted wood, and he says, Mom, what do you got for that? And I said, try some Melaleuca, lavender, and frankincense. And I said, actually, I have a roller bottle. Grabbed the roller bottle, and he grabbed this roller bottle and rubbed it on his sores on his hand that he scratched open when he was hauling wood. All right. So I love having what I need at my fingertips right when I need it. And so this is my roller bottle. Okay. For an Owie blend. All right. It's a great Owie blend, lavender, frankincense, and Melaleuca. Fantastic. And it's immediately effective, right? I don't hear him complain anymore. His hands were hurting. He's not complaining anymore. He's off to do other things. All right. So when we nourish the body with natural solutions, the body can do its healing job better, and we get great results. Now, another thing that's really cool about essential oils is that they're very potent. Okay. We don't need a lot. So we're talking just a drop. All right. And so in fact, we've seen that 1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to about 28 cups of peppermint tea. All right. Well, I don't know how many of you would drink 28 cups of peppermint tea in a day, but the reality of that is we use small amounts. How often do we use them? How often do we feel the concerns? How often does that knee hurt? How often do those scratches from carrying the wood hurt? That's when we reapply or use the oils. Okay, so it's like feeding our body. How often do you feed your body? You feed it when it's hungry. Same thing is true with essential oils. Okay, so they're very potent. We're only going to use drops. We're going to use a little bit at a time, but as often as our body calls for them. All right, as often as the owie hurts, or the stomach feels nauseous, or my back aches, or my knee is not working well, I'm going to use it that often. Every time I think about it, I'm like, oh man, I don't feel this well. That's when I'm going to reach for the oils. All right. And so the beautiful thing about doTERRA is that they are as effective. They are pure. They are potent. They are not adulterated in any way. They are certified pure therapeutic grade. We sometimes abbreviate that as CPTG. CPTG stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, and that is a big deal. Okay, and what that means is that we harvest the plant material in its natural habitat. They are tested on site and multiple times through the processing to make sure there's been no contaminants, nothing added, nothing taken away, and that we get consistent therapeutic benefits, and that is a big deal. All right, and so how do we use essential oils? Okay, we use them 3 ways, so listen up. Okay, I told you 3 cool things about essential oils. If you remember them, type them down here in these little notes here on our Facebook page. 3 cool things about essential oils, and now I'm going to talk about 3 ways that we use them. All right, so we use them aromatically, which means we breathe them in. We breathe them in to open our airways to help us breathe more deeply, more clearly, more easily. We use them to boost our mood. We use it to freshen the air. We use it to prevent spreading of issues in the home setting or in our work setting. So we diffuse them. We breathe them in. We might put a drop on our hands, rub our hands together and breathe them in. We might put a drop on our pillowcase. We might put a drop on a cotton ball and put that inside our pillow slip, or we might actually put it in the vents of our car. So there's many ways to use them aromatically, which means we breathe them in. Okay. The second way we use them is topically, which means we rub them on our skin. And when we rub them on our skin, we want to get in close proximity to the problem. So if my knee hurts and I rub some Deep Blue on my knee, that's the best way to use it. All right. And Deep Blue is a really great oil to reach for if it hurts or aches or is bothering you. Okay. Deep Blue is a great option to apply topically, but we apply it in close proximity to the problem. If I had a headache, I might apply it to my temples or the back of my neck, over my brainstem, or over my neck and shoulders where I'm feeling the tension. If I have a knee ache, like I said, I'm going to put it on my knee. If I have a shoulder ache, I'm going to apply it to my shoulder. So I'm going to apply it topically on my skin, just rub it on my skin in close proximity with the problem. And then the third way that we use essential oils is internally. And when I talk about internally, I'm really speaking to doTERRA specific. I am not talking about other options, all right? I'm talking about doTERRA specific, using them internally because they are CPTG or Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. I can put them under my tongue, I can put them on my tongue, I can put them in a veggie cap, I can put them in a glass of water, I can put them in my applesauce or my oatmeal, but I'm going to take them inside my body. And the best time to do that is when I'm feeling something all over. I'm not feeling well all over. I need a systemic approach. I need something to affect the entire body. That's a really great way to use them internally. Welcome, welcome, Vicki. Okay. It's really broken up and you can't hear me. Darn it. Let me make sure my volume's up on my phone. Tell me if that's any better. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Sharon. Good to have you on here. Tell me, Vicki, if that's any better. I hope it's better. So there's 3 ways to use them. Type below if you know those 3 ways. Okay. Just type below if you know the 3 ways that we use essential oils. So essential oils allow us to live empowered. It allows us to have what we need at our fingertips when we need them. It allows us to be healthy with daily healthy habits. It allows us to be refreshed with self-care that's non-toxic, and it helps us be prepared for anything that comes our way. And that's one of my greatest blessings, is that I no longer have to haul off to the doctor or haul off to the Instacare or the ER. I can actually use what I've got at my fingertips first in hopes that it will take care of the problem. And if it does not, then I have that other option. Okay. And so I love that, being prepared for everything. That brings me a great deal of peace of mind as a mother. And I am so, so grateful for that. And I'm also really, really grateful that my children have learned now over the last 10 years to reach for natural solutions first. And so it's their first go-to. They don't know the other options. We don't even have any kind of medicinals or over-the-counter issues or meds in our home. Okay. And so at any rate, I love nourishing body first so that it can do its healing job better. If I wait for a crisis and I don't live a wellness lifestyle, I'm likely going to need to reach for something else. All right. So really, truly, embracing a wellness lifestyle is not about buying a bottle of oils. It is about establishing daily wellness habits so that we don't get sick, so that our body doesn't deteriorate, so that we don't have long-term health issues. Now, some people might say that, gosh, this is a lot of work. Do I have to do it daily? Yes, you have to do it daily. Okay. If you don't do it daily, what's the option? Well, The option is that you can go ahead and feel 85 years old at 25 or 35. You can go ahead and head to the ER. You can go ahead and be carrying a, hello Taylor, you can go ahead and be carrying a tank of oxygen around with you because you're no longer breathing well. You can go ahead and sit on the couch and not move very well because you're aching all over. So the absence of not taking care of your body is long-term. So you either pay now or pay later, right? And so I trust that natural solutions help me to live younger, longer. And that's a really big deal. All right. Now, just a word of caution. Okay. Essential oils, we dilute essential oils with a vegetable oil. All right. So if I accidentally put peppermint on my hand and I rub my eyes and stick my finger in my eye, it's going to burn. So we recommend do not put them in any orifice. Do not put them in your eyes, ears, or nose without a doctor's approval. I'm going to say that you're not going to find many doctors to do that, but we do have Dr. Jorgensen on our team, and he is an ENT, an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and he says do not put them in your eyes, ears, or nose unless the doctor tells you so. And so I use a nasal wash bottle, and one of Dr. Jorgensen's great recommendations is to add a drop of Melaleuca or a drop of lemon oil. I typically add one of each, but you only want one of each. So be very mindful when you're dripping oils into your nasal wash bottle, how many drips you get in there, all right? One of each of lemon oil and Melaleuca is what Debbie Gordon does, and then I do a nasal wash, and it is magnificent, and it does not burn. But if I stick something else up my nose, it may burn, and so you want to be really mindful of that, all right? So if I stick my finger in my eye after I've dipped it in peppermint, it's going to burn like heck. I'm going to recommend that you reach for the fractionated coconut oil or some other vegetable oil, some other carrier oil, thanks, Tay, in order to stop that burn. And all it does is just rubbing a little bit of drizzle of the fractionated coconut oil in your hand, blotting your eyes or blotting that arm or blotting the face if you put oregano on instead of Melaleuca. If it's sensitive, if it's burning, if it's uncomfortable, dilute it with a vegetable oil, okay, and you're good to go. And it usually stops that burning immediately. As fast as you get it on there, it's going to stop that burning. And so don't cry first. Do not flush it with water. Get on a vegetable oil, and it will really help, all right? So I want you to think for a moment of your top health priorities that you would like to find solutions for, all right? I want you to think of your top health priorities, but tonight, I'm going to have you write those down. Write down your top health priorities, because after I am done, and I'm talking pretty fast and furious so that I can go to a live questionnaire, okay? But after I am done talking about essential oils for rest and managing stress, I'm going to address your questions, all right? And so write them down, write your top 3 health priorities that you would like to find solutions for. We're going to go there a little bit tonight, because last week I was actually on my way to Wyoming with my mother in the ER, and I missed last week's class. So please forgive me if you got on here last week and I was not here and there was no class. Hello, Elisa. Remember that or just understand, please, that sometimes family emergencies come up, and it just so happened that at 4:30 in the afternoon, I got word that my mother was in the ER in Casper, Wyoming, and I took off out of here, and I missed our class. All right, drove through the night, actually, got there about 3:30 a.m. after picking my sister up. She flew into Salt Lake City. I met her at the airport, and we took off and drove all night. So at any rate, the good news is that my mother's much better now. And what had happened after her back surgery was my sister that flew in here, and then we drove together. She had spent 2.5 weeks caring for my mother, moving her off of the medications and prescriptions that were causing her body harm. Literally, she was in deep crap doo-doo in a big sort of way. She was impacted with bowel obstruction. And so when we actually moved her out of that situation after surgery, then she got off her oil protocol and she wasn't caring for herself, and she got back on the pain medications and got impacted again, and we needed to move her out of that and back to a safe place for her body to evacuate itself. All right, so anyway, that was probably TMI, much more than you wanted to know, but that's why I missed last week. So I have allotted some time tonight to do some Q&A, some live Q&A. All right, so let's now spend the next few minutes talking about getting good quality sleep and rest and managing our stress. So like I said earlier, if you do not have any stress, go ahead and click off. You probably don't want to hear this part because you don't need it if you don't have any stress in your life, but I'll tell you, I do. Okay. And most people that I know, that I associate with, have stress in their life. And it's on a day-to-day basis. And so having some natural solutions at our fingertips that we can utilize to manage our rest and stress is going to be most helpful. Okay. So from the basic 10 essential oils, one of my favorite things to calm down anxious feelings or to help me sleep is lavender. Okay. And so lavender is your go-to for anything that needs to be calmed down. If you need to rest easy, it's great for resting. All right. And so that's going to be a really big deal. You know what? I have on the screen here on my PowerPoint, I have the Lifelong Vitality Pack. You know what? I'm going to back up. So go ahead and go with lavender for calming oil. All right. But one of the things we often forget, hello, Dia, welcome, welcome. One of the things we often forget is the foundation of all our wellness, which with doTERRA is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Okay, now let me talk about the Lifelong Vitality Pack for a minute or two. All right, the Lifelong Vitality Pack is our foundational nutritional support. Even if we work really hard at eating really healthy and putting everything healthy in our bodies, we're still going to be deficient in those needed micronutrients, those minerals, those trace minerals, those vitamins and resources, or what am I saying? The vitamins, minerals. We're still going to be deficient in those basic nutrients, micronutrients that we need for cellular processes. Okay, so if you want your cells functioning optimally, so that you can have healthy tissues, healthy organs, healthy body systems, the Lifelong Vitality Pack is your foundational support. Now, that's not just a gift from doTERRA that says, you know what, we're going to give you a 30-day guarantee. You take it as directed, and if you don't feel anything, send us back your empty bottles. We'll refund your money. There's a no-risk guarantee on that product, but the reality is that it does work, and it is really, truly magnificent. Welcome, Reagan. Good to have you on here. It's really a magnificent trio. If you are not already taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack, I'm going to say if you want long-term health, if you want long-term cellular longevity, if you want to feel younger longer, if you want a healthy cardiovascular system, healthy immune system, healthy digestive system, healthy nervous system, if you want to be able to sleep peacefully by giving your body the micronutrients it needs for cellular processes, Lifelong Vitality Pack is a critical piece, and I encourage you to get on that. All right, really does help manage stress. Really does help with cardiovascular health. I have been on this for almost 10 years, 9.5 years. It is fantastic, and let me tell you, if I stop taking this, I feel like I'm my age. Otherwise, I don't feel like like I am my age. All right, and so it's really a great protection, and one that really facilitates healthy rest and managing your stress. All right, so then we talked about lavender. Another basic oil from the basic 10, your home essentials kit or your family essentials kit, is frankincense. Now, I really love to use lavender and frankincense together. They're both really calming. I should show it up here to Zoom, right? I'm showing it to my phone instead of to Zoom. But that's a really great combination from the basic 10 oils. And why do I not sell just one bottle of oil? Because you won't have what you need when you need it. I'm not serving you to sell you a single bottle of oils. Retail or wholesale, I'm not serving you at all if I don't sell you a basic kit where you have lots to reach for everything that comes up on a day-to-day basis. All right, so lavender and frankincense are a great thing to calm us down, to calm down our mind, to help us get back into a state of balance and restfulness so that we can actually sleep well and manage our stress, okay, so we don't feel so stressed out or anxious. All right, Serenity Blend is another one of my very favorites. Now, Serenity is one that I use every night along with the Serenity Soft Gels. Thank you for your love and your hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Along with Serenity Soft Gels, that is my go-to at night. I also do take Copaiba Soft Gels. So in the morning, I take my Adaptive and my turmeric. And at night, I take my Serenity and my Copaiba. That's just my personal. I do take some Copaiba drops under my tongue because I do. It does regulate my heart rate and my heartbeat. And so I do take Serenity drops under my tongue first thing in the morning, and then at nighttime is when I take these soft gels. Okay, so but this is a wonderful thing for sleep. And let me tell you, if you are feeling stressed out, just applying a little bit of this Serenity to I like to apply it to my temples. I like to apply it to my wrist, to the pulse points of my wrist. Okay, where I might apply some pure perfume. I like to apply it to the back of my neck, over my spine. And also, if I'm feeling really stressed out, I like to just apply it over to the muscles of my neck and my shoulders. All right, that's a really great help to me personally, where I can actually really have some soothing blend to actually calm down that stress. Okay, and then breathing it in. Serenity is awesome for just calming. You're going to see me just start to get sleepy, probably, right? So this is really awesome to just calm me down when I'm feeling stressed. Now we have we have another magnificent line that came out at convention. I've talked about that. I was going to talk about it more last week, but the adaptive line is magnificent. We have capsules, we have a roller bottle, okay, and we have a 15 ml bottle for the diffuser, and you can use the 15 ml bottle on you as well. This is our adaptive line. So it comes in a 3-pack, okay? And it is magnificent for calming stress. So if you're feeling anxiousness or depression or sadness or not finding happiness in life, this is a go-to, all right? Now, here's what I've experienced. I don't know that I would call myself an anxious person, but I will say that in the last few months, I have felt more anxiety than ever before in my life. It's not a matter of if we feel anxiety, it's a matter of when, all right? When you understand what this adaptive line does, it is magnificent for calming us down. And so I might try to pull up some slides, but this is another great thing to calm us down to manage our stress, okay? Another thing we have are the emotional aromatherapy oils, all right? How many of us know of someone, a loved one, a friend, a neighbor, a friend of a friend, a child of a friend? How many of us know someone who has recently died or passed away, okay? How many of us know somebody like that? Well, let me tell you, I just was at a funeral on Monday. Not this week, I guess it was last week, all right? I just had a neighbor have a daughter admitted back to the primary children's medical center. A couple weeks ago, we had a friend die. We had a little boy, actually, this past Saturday over the weekend, we had the funeral for an 8th grader at my son's school who died. He was in a care facility for suicide. He ran away from the care facility, ran in front of a car, and was run over and killed. Very sad things are happening. And so I have felt more anxiety. We also had a young man, the son of a neighbor, that was hospitalized for lipoid pneumonia. He had been vaping and had oil in his alveoli sacs in his lungs. And instead of filling with air, they were filled with oil, and he could not breathe and was at 43% oxygen. Let me just tell you, you know what? It's been one thing after another. And I'm sure that's not just Debbie Gordon's life. I'm sure that's happening for all of you as well. And so having something to manage your stress is magnificent. So some of my very favorite oils for the emotional aromatherapy oils are the Console, the Peace, the Forgive. You know what? I love Forgive, because when I'm feeling angry with somebody, or angry that they did this to themselves, or they did that to themselves, or they did that to me, or whatever, when I'm feeling angry, this helps both ways. This helps me forgive myself, helps me forgive them, it helps me not hold them accountable, and it is a wonderful blend. So for managing emotions and stress, Forgive is magnificent. Really great combination of trees and herbs. And then we have the Cheer blend to put a smile on my face when things are feeling really overwhelming. The Peace blend is one of my very favorites. I love that for sleep. I love it for calming down anything. Okay, this is the Peace blend. It is magnificent. And this is something that I love to apply over my heart, my wrists, my feet before bed. Years ago, before doTERRA had this blend, I used to make a blend that I called Peaceful Child Blend for my children. Especially for my boys who struggle to focus, struggle to pay attention, struggle to really be effective in their schoolwork or in their chores, or just following basic instructions. So I made this Peaceful Child Blend. And when I used it on my children, it was Peaceful Child Blend. When I used it on me, it was Peaceful Mama Blend. And then doTERRA heard us, and they knew that many of us were making that blend using about 8 different essential oils, and we make it in a roller bottle. I would take my vetiver, and I'd line up 3 roller bottles together, and I just estimate about a third of the vetiver bottle in each of those 3 roller bottles, and I would make 3 roller bottles at a time of this Peaceful Child Blend. That was what I started with, and then I added other oils to it. A total of 8 oils were in that blend. Well, doTERRA heard us, and they came out with Peace Blend, and now I don't need to make Peaceful Child Blend or Peaceful Mama Blend because I got doTERRA's Peace, all right? And so that's a wonderful calming down oil to help me manage my stress, to help me be more calm, relaxed, help me sleep and be more restful, and not feel so much anxiety. And so that's a really great one too. So what are some of your favorites? I want you to post in the Facebook page or post in the chat room if you're on Zoom. Post some of your favorites for oils that help you manage your sleep and rest and help you manage your stress. Post some of your favorites. Another one of my favorite actually is bergamot. That's over by my sink instead of right here beside me. But bergamot, or bergamot is how I say it, is really great for stress. And if you look it up in the Modern Essentials book for what it's used for, it just says all kinds of stress. And so bergamot is one of those that is really fabulous. And one time I was teaching a class and I was feeling stressed. I was diffusing bergamot. And then I brought the diffuser. I remember bringing the diffuser over to my island. I actually had one person show up to my class, and I always believed that who was ever supposed to be to my class was the person or the people who showed up. And so we just sat at my island in my kitchen. And as we did that, sat at my island, I remember diffusing this and breathing, and then just this diffuser that I brought from my kitchen sink over to the island. And within 20 minutes, both of us were yawning. And so bergamot is a really good one for rest and sleep. When I have that jumping leg syndrome, I actually love to apply it with fractionated coconut oil to my legs from feet upwards towards my heart, and it knocks that jumping leg syndrome so very well. I still am a doula. I still provide birth services to birthing women, and when I go without sleep, and I've got birth coming up here in a couple of weeks, when I go without sleep, I do find that I have that jumping leg syndrome again, and I need to use my bergamot. So that's lovely. So I'm going to stop for just a minute. I think somebody is trying to share, and so I'm going to see what your comments are. Post your comments below on what you use for rest and managing stress, and then I'm going to open it up for comments on Zoom. All right. So Son, if you have something to share, go ahead and unmute yourself and share on Zoom, and anybody else on Facebook, post your comments below. I want to hear what you have to say. Okay. Any comments there at all? All right, so is there anybody that is not already benefiting from a wholesome membership with doTERRA, or that is not already sharing essential oils with others? Is there anybody on here? Raise your hand, post a comment. Oh, Dia says, lately Adaptive Trio is what she's using at work. I just started working with clients. So much to know, and it's helped me to stay calm and physically, mentally, and emotionally calm, I assume. Okay, stay calm physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's my favorite right now. Also, past tense for neck tension. What a great suggestion, Dia. Past tense is awesome. Another one that I thought of was Aroma Touch. Aroma Touch is really fabulous for aching muscles and joints. So when I'm feeling tension and stress, then I start aching. Aroma Touch is a go-to for me. So that's another one. And there's lots that we can use. Wild Orange is a great one for sleep, to help us go to bed feeling like we did our best. We may not have gotten everything done, but we did our best. Another one that I love under my tongue is Juniper Berry. And Juniper Berry just says shh to all the organs, just shushes them so that you can go to sleep and not work so hard during the night, okay? And then another one that I have used is vetiver. I mentioned that in Peaceful Child Blend. Vetiver is a great one. Balance is a great one. Cedarwood is another one that I've used individually. Now the Serenity Blend does have both the vetiver and the cedarwood in it, along with lavender and some other oils. And so there's some great choices. And so if you look in your resource book under sleep or rest or managing stress, you're going to find some really great recommendations. All right. And so, all right. So how do you get these oils in your home? There's 3 ways to buy doTERRA essential oils. One is retail, and I don't want anybody buying their oils for retail. And I recommend that you don't sell them retail. Actually, if you're not going to sign somebody up with a wholesale membership, go ahead and sell it to them retail. But let them know that they can open a wholesale membership, like a Costco wholesale membership with doTERRA, and they can save 25%. Now, I venture that if when you and I go into Costco or Sam's Club, we're not saving 25%, ladies and gentlemen. And so wholesale membership with doTERRA really saves us money. There's a $35 membership fee with doTERRA to open a wholesale account unless you purchase an enrollment kit, and doTERRA has lots of options, and that's the way to go. So you automatically will save the $35 off the top, plus buy below wholesale. Okay, and then we have, for those loyal customers, doTERRA has a magnificent customer appreciation program that allows you to buy below wholesale. So get with me or get with the person that invited you to class or to watch this class, and I'll help you do that, all right? So that's a really important thing. So we've got lots of kits to choose from every budget, and that's going to be, that we're going to see some changes before the end of the year that we can look forward to, all right? So doTERRA is really focused on a wellness lifestyle, and that really helps us remember that to be well long-term means that we take measures on a daily basis to keep ourselves healthy and well. And that includes good nutrition, eating right, exercise, rest, and managing our stress, as I've talked about briefly tonight, reducing toxic load, and then having on hand what we need when we need it, and then partnering with our medical care provider for those routine wellness checks. Okay, so that's a really simple way. Whatever information you would use online for a mail order is the same information we need in order to sign you up with a wholesale membership. And so that's a really simple thing to do that we can help you with. And so I'm going to stop my share. Welcome, Janelle. Welcome, Tay. Good to have you on here. And then I want to, let's see what's in the chat here. Yes, Soen says, I love Forgive and Peace. They are awesome, right? They are really, truly awesome. So at any rate, now I'm going to open it up for you for Q&A. And so I want you to unmute yourselves, and I'm going to actually go tier 2. I'm going to actually decrease my volume on my phone for just a minute. I'll bring it back up as I go into Facebook on my computer and look for comments, since I'm not seeing them on my phone. Okay, so forgive me as I decrease my volume here for just a minute. All right, let's start with those on Zoom. Anybody on Zoom want to ask some questions? Let's open it for live chat, live Q&A, and get your questions answered, all right? So let's see here. Anybody on Zoom want to speak up here? All right, so I'm going to check for comments here. Yes, all right. Megan Aquino, you said that you love the adaptive products as well. Balance, Bergamot, Copaiba are a few that you've used for anxious feelings and managing your stress. That's really helpful. Anybody else make comments here? Thank you for your comments. Good to have all of you on here, and I hope this has been helpful. So anyway, all right, so hopefully we're back in gear here. Okay, so any questions at all? This is your time to ask some questions. Let me talk for just a minute then about, I did a live Facebook the other day on respiratory issues. How many of you know somebody that is sick with this respiratory garbage that's going around? And let me just say, ladies and gentlemen, we have an obligation to share these products. We can bless so many lives. And so I want you to write down some names of people that you can reach out to this week, all right? I have started making another 100 names list, and I'm working through Elise Chedevy's training, her 50 daily mentor calls. If you have not seen that posted on my team pages on Creating a Healer in Every Home, on Promoting a Healer in Every Home, I'm going to have you reach out to me, all right, so that I can connect you with that training. But she really does teach us a better way to sample and help many people around us have a positive product experience. And once they have a positive product experience, then we invite them to learn more, invite them to one of these classes, either online or in person. I prefer in person if they're in my neck of the woods. If they're not in my neck of the woods, then I prefer online. To talk with them, invite them to a class once they've had a positive product experience. And when we do that, the chances of them actually embracing a wellness lifestyle is 100 times greater. And so we can help a lot more people if we'll take the time up front to sample them until they have a positive product experience. But one of the things that has been really paramount in my circle of influence lately is this respiratory garbage. And I gave you a live Facebook the other day on Creating a Healer in Every Home page that talked about that and gave you lots of suggestions for managing any kind of respiratory issues right now. Okay, so take advantage of that. video, you're going to see some, remember the steaming cup. Some people have forgotten already the steaming cup from one season to another. The steaming cup is a steaming cup of hot water with 2 drops each of oregano, melaleuca, lemon, and peppermint. Breathe that in for 20 minutes. Clear out the sinuses, clear out the lungs, if you clear out the sinuses when you first started feeling it coming on, you don't have to have that deep barking cough. It doesn't have to go down in your lungs. Clear out the sinuses first. Another thing I love to do with the same roller bottle that I did for my son's cuts and scrapes from Hollywood. This is a really great one for around the ears. Just rubbing this lavender, melaleuca, and frankincense behind and in front of the outer ear is a really great roller bottle. And then I just use my fingers like that around my ears, okay? And then I just bring that right down to my glands, right down here under my chin, okay? Really great way to work with achy ears. When you feel a sinus infection, that's a really great way to deal with it. And you could rub this also on your sinuses, here above your eyebrows, over here. Don't get it in your eyes. Just rub it right under your sinuses, right here on your cheekbones, okay? And over the bridge of your nose. Another thing I love there is, of course, the Breathe Blend. And Casey Vaudry actually posted on that video. So here's Breathe Blend that I like to put on there, okay? Casey Vaudry actually posted that she likes to put Digest Zen over her sinuses when she's feeling a sinus congestion or sinus infection going on, and that's another option. So there you have it. Digestin can be an option for sinus issues too, and you can put it around your belly button, and for whatever reason, applying Digestin around your belly button helps with clearing the sinuses. So we do know that gut and respiratory go hand in hand. So if you have problems with one, you'll probably have problems with another, okay? So be mindful of that. But think respiratory. There's lots of choices. Adding another roller bottle that I have in here is Breathe and cardamom and lime oil, okay? Magnificent for respiratory support. Adding just a little bit of extra lime to break up the mucus, and that you can rub over your sinuses too, or over your chest and back. I love doing that. And the cardamom is wonderful, as is the arbor vitae. If I have a respiratory issue that's lingering longer than I want it to, that's not really responding to the oils I'm applying to it, add in some cardamom, some lime, or some arbor vitae, or all of those, okay, to the Breathe, and you're gonna notice a difference. All right, so anytime something's hanging on for longer, it's kind of burrowing roots, think of fungal oils, and you're gonna add to that, okay? And it's really a great choice. All right, so hope that helps. All right, I'm still not getting any questions up here, so would love to have your input here for live Q&A. And so this is your time. So I'm going to go in here to...
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely, Soan. Go ahead.
Okay. So with my experience with anxiety comes in waves. And so it could be mild, it could be moderate, and it could be quite severe. And so what I love to do is moderate my oils according to those kind of waves. So sometimes one doesn't realize they're anxious. They might not have insight into it. And they might go immediately to moderate. And then you're like, pulling my hair out and everything's going like chaotic in my life. And so you've got to just slow down and go back to basics again.
Absolutely. And very often when we're feeling like that, Soan, it really does help to pull out your Breathe oil and take a whiff of that, a drop in your hand of the Breathe oil, breathing that in deeply to get us to breathe deeply again, okay? Because very often when we are not breathing, when we are having anxious feelings or having a full-fledged anxiety attack, okay, we find that we are not breathing deeply. We're not oxygenating well. We can't process information. We can't think clearly. We can't get a deep breath. And oftentimes starting with the Breathe Blend is a great way to start. Oxygenate the brain so that then we can think clearly and then use our oils for calming down. Really great feedback. Thank you, Soan. Absolutely. I love how you say that sometimes we don't recognize we're feeling anxious and it can escalate really quickly, okay, to where we are non-functional. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Thanks.
In fact, I had a call one night. I was actually at a function down at doTERRA. I was at a Latino function down at doTERRA, and I was just kind of finishing up. My phone was almost dead, and I got a message from a dear friend that was a team member in our doTERRA family, and she said, "Do you have time to talk?" And just her text, I knew it was urgent. And as I made my way from the event out to my car, my phone died, and I needed to turn on my car and plug in my phone to my car adapter for several minutes before I could even have enough power to actually call her back. And when I called her back, she was feeling like she was going to die. She was that quickly from escalating from into an all-out anxiety attack and feeling like she was going to die. And let me tell you, that is really a frightening moment. And so I was so grateful that she felt comfortable to say, can we talk? Do you have a minute to talk? Okay. And I knew that was a real good sign. So this is what I did with her. I actually said, Sarah, grab your breathe. Okay. And just take in 6 or 8 deep breaths. And I'm right here with you, girl. I got you covered. Even though we were 2,000 miles apart. Okay. I'm really grateful that phone is available. All right. Anybody else? I'm not seeing anything on Facebook. So if I'm missing something, forgive. Any other questions that you have? Let me refresh my page. Maybe that might help. Okay. I don't see any other questions. So if you have any other questions, feel free to jump on the Zoom link and you can talk openly. Otherwise, on Facebook, you've got to post. Okay. So I hope this has been helpful. Please know that we're here most every Tuesday night. I apologize for last week with my mother suddenly ending in the ER. But we're here most every week for a weekly wellness. This is for you and your contacts. So bring them here. Help them learn how to live a natural solutions lifestyle. It is empowering. It is safe. It is simple. It is effective. And most definitely, ladies and gentlemen, it is so much cheaper, so much more affordable than the alternative. And so we've got some solutions here that everybody can benefit from. So I encourage you tonight, now perhaps, to make a list of everybody you can think of who could benefit from sleeping better, from managing their stress, maybe from using the adaptive products for anxious feelings or depression or sadness or feeling not very capable of managing life stressors. Who do you know that has any kinds of aches or discomforts? Who do you know that has the barking cough? Who do you know that's missed work because of sickness? Who do you know that's missed work because of a sick child? Write down all those people's names that you can think of. If you have posted recently about your oil journey on your social media, go back and find those people who liked it or commented and write down their names on your list as well. Think of those that you do business with. Think of those that you associate with in the neighborhood or with your kids' parents, your kids' friends' parents, or the school teachers, or people you bank with or go see at the library, people you see at church, people you are next door to, people that are your coworkers. Write down their names. Make a list of people that you know would be so grateful if you showed them to this wellness lifestyle, and you'll be forever blessed. All right. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Without any more questions, I'll go ahead and say goodnight and talk to you another time. But don't hesitate to look at this video. For those of you who look at this video later, thank you for your comments. If you have questions that you want answered, feel free to actually post them under this video. Private message me. I'm happy to help you that way too. Or post in the chat room on the Zoom real quick before we close. And I will certainly answer your questions. So I'm going to turn off the recording now, which means also the Facebook is going to go off. For those still lingering and on Zoom, I'm going to open it up for additional questions that maybe you're holding back that you don't want recorded. So I'm going to turn off the recording for now.